Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. I'm Cyclone. It's time for more Let's Play Train Simulator Classic, and it's finally time to get to the 3 scenarios that came exclusively with the route. I don't want to indicate who gave them to me because I don't want him getting bombarded with requests for anything here, so we're going to go ahead and just leave that information on its own, but I'm going to see if I can make these scenarios available for you at some point as well. Like I said, I want to make sure I have permission to do these, but I also want to make sure they actually work before I actually try to seek permission to post them. And I actually may try to post them on the updated version of the route as well. But for right now, we're going to play them on this version of the route today. I'll play the 3 scenarios that were released for the updated version of the route, and there's separate ones in the Steam Workshop at a later time on that version of the route. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and do the scenario that I came to this route to play. I wanted to see a Class 111 driving on this route. We are going to get to see a Class 111 driving on this route. It's kind of funny that this route, way back when, was the Class 111 DLC. It was actually the 111 DLC, but this is the first time we're actually pulling the 111 and driving it on this route. And it's the only time we're pulling the 111 and driving it on this route. And by the way, the 111 does not have any scenarios that come with it today. So this is really a very rare opportunity for us to drive the 111. So I'm going to have to show you some of the different, at least one specific different control that's in play to regarding driving this train. Because if you did not see the Granfield Branch scenarios where I drove the 101 and the 111 as well, where I first introed the 111 oddly, then you missed something. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the main difference with driving this 111. I'll show you that as we get in the scenario and before we actually get started. Let's get in and take a look, shall we? Once again, we're having an error with the train. It looks like the Granfield return is not able to find its destination. Let's see what's wrong with this, shall we? So there's where we are. That's where we're starting. And somewhere up there, we're going to find Granfield return. So let's go ahead and pop into the scenario tools. We're going to figure out where Granfield return is located, first of all. Oh, that is me not able to find a destination. Well, this is very, very promising, isn't it? Well, I don't like where this is going already, because this is not what I expected to see. Apparently, I cannot find my way from Inchcombe to Thornhill. So where is Inchcombe, and why can I not find a route to Thornhill? Or Thenhill, sorry. Apparently, when I get to Inchcombe, I am not able to find a path to Thenhill. Unknown error. Well, this is really good. So Inchcombe 2 to Thenhill 2. Is there an AI train causing problems here? Do I have to drop Setterfield stopper or something like that? Because it goes on number 1. That's not the issue. Is there another train that's supposed to come along here? I don't think the shunter's going to do anything. It's staying in the sidings. It's supposed to do some work as we go by. So we're going to be watching it just move around aimlessly doing different things. That's what we're going to see there. And what's going on back here? We have lots of other trains here. These guys are apparently going to enter as we enter. There's going to be Granfield something. It's not Shunter. Who is it? Who is that? Well, that's the name of the line. Sorry, that's an idle train. That's the name of the line. I don't see... There's a Granfield Shunter up there. So that's the one that's going to be going to the Granfield loop. It's going to head in this direction, and eventually it's going to find its way off the track over here. That's where it's going to head. It's going to head in this direction. It's going to disappear. Oh no, it's going to stop at Quinn's Hill Tunnel Refuge Siding 1. That's where it's going to go. But so it's not going to be in our path at all. So what is causing us problems over here is the question of the day, and I do not know what the answer to that question is. So I eventually started poking around with the timetable here, and I found out that when I edited the timings up to the Thenhill platform area, all of a sudden the rest of the timetable started showing up. So it looks like there was actually a train conflict between, well, some other train and the train that we're driving. Now you may notice that there's a there's a red stop sign type thing at the bottom, as well as a exclamation mark icon, like a yield icon or whatever you want to call that, like a static consist clash or whatever they refer to it as. So those icons kind of give a hint where the problem train is, and I didn't follow those when I was actually going through this, but it looks like there was a problem with another train further ahead. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Granfield Shunter, because I looked at that a moment ago. I didn't do anything about it because I couldn't figure out what the problem was, but I think there's actually a problem with it. So I'm going to go ahead and edit the rest of this timetable. I'm going to show you where we end up with that, and then we're going to go ahead and move to the Granfield Shunter, and we're going to see what's going on with that. Okay, we got our timetable fixed. You can see we went up by about 5 minutes here, or 6 minutes perhaps, but you're going to notice we still have a problem here. There's a Granfield Shunter. That's coming up on the exclamation mark icon, so we need to look at that now. So here's the problem you can see with Granfield Shunter. It says that you're now unable to pass the blockage, or it's now unable to pass the blockage. And guess who the blockage is? It's us! We're the blockage! So in order to fix this scenario, I basically had to not only fix my timetable, but I also had to, get rid of the shunter. So we're going to look at that in just a second here. And let's take a look at that. We have to get rid of that shunter. We don't have a choice. So we're going to have to deal with that. Okay, we found the Granfield Shunter. Here it is over at Granfield. So I'm going to go ahead and detach it and delete it. I'm going to detach it and delete it. So bye. Those are now just going to be cars that are going to sit there in the siding, complete with a brake van attached coincidentally. I don't know if the brake van was meant to be there with it. Obviously with the connected train it was supposed to be. So we're just going to go ahead and take that train out, and we're going to head back to our timetable. Let's see what happens over here. So now that I basically wrecked the entire timetable, let's see what happened to our processes here. Am I still okay to go? Yes. There is still a potential static consist clash with Setterfield Shunter. 1358, it goes to the sand access road. Where am I? Where am I at 1358? I am all the way up here at leaving Granfield. So at the Culford Halt. It should be at its final stop long before I ever get there. So there should not be a clash. We're going to give this a try, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see if it works. I'm going to hit save on this. We're going to say yes. And let's get to work and try and play this. You see that little gear art indicator there? We have to change gears by using the E button, which will allow us to move the gear up and allow us to actually get moving. If we do not set a gear, we cannot go. There are guidelines for using that gear. I'll show you those as we get going. So what is the gear on the train, you might be asking? So let's unpause and take a quick look. Gear is this. So now I'm in gear 1. Shift E, by the way, reverses it. So gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, gear 4. And then again, we can reverse it. So I'll show you that as we get going. That's the main thing I wanted to show you. So I'll go ahead and I'll restart this scenario here, and I'm going to show you exactly how to play this scenario. You're cleared into Setterfield Platform 4. All right, let's go. So into the cab, and let's set gear to number 1. Not 2, 1. Now that I've done that, I can go ahead and put the throttle up, and that should allow me, well, if I take the brake off first, that'd be a good first step. And then we're able to get going. Now I'm going to be held at about 15, hello, luckily stopper. So I'm going to be held at about 15 when I get to the top of my first gear. So if I want to move to my next gear, I have to push E to move to the next gear, and then I will gain more speed. So there you go, I can now go faster. That is how gears work, just like the gears in a gear shift car. You can get some really good speed out of it this way too. We're getting better speed than we would in the 166 right now, for sure. 26, of course, is our... 25, of course, is now our limit, so I have to quickly hit the brakes a little bit here. And now I'm going to move the gear into gear 4 because that's what you're supposed to do when you're braking. So I'm going to start braking right now. Not that much. That's enough. So we are on our timetable, obviously. I gave myself a little time to get used to driving this again. So once again, we're going to go into full gear. This time I'm just going to go ahead and coast in and hope that I get to a spot where I'm allowed to open my doors. Because if I'm not allowed to open my doors, that's going to be a problem. And quick peek out the train on this side. There you go. You can see the track a little better on this side as well. And it looks like there's something to do with the graphics on the platform there, because I'm seeing some strange lines. It must be something in the cab that is causing that. So I was not allowed to open my doors here before. I'm going to carry on to about where the signal is on this platform. That's the signal for the other train, of course, that is going to have to wait for us, if anything. So we're going to stop right around that signal, and that's what we're going to work with. So brakes are now on. And we're going to go ahead and open the doors here at Centerfield, Platform 4. Our journey in the 111 is underway. Well, I actually have a buzzer bell. I should remember that. So let's take the brakes off and get ourselves going here. We are leaving Centerfield Platform 4. Our first stop, we have been requested to stop at the Elm Tree Halt. So we will do so. That red, by the way, is for the other line. Don't worry about it. We're not going to run into this train. We're going to take the left here. So this train, the Granfield stopper, is waiting for us. And there's our buzzer bell. We do have a buzzer bell on this scenario. So you notice I cut my throttle down to 25% for just a moment. That's because I did not want to break the 25 speed limit. I could have, of course, gone up to the full speed if I wanted to. I chose not to. So now I'm going up to full speed, if it will allow me. There it is. Takes a lot of power up. I've gone ahead and moved the gear up to gear number 3. That should be enough. It should limit me to 40 miles per hour. Oh, I thought it was going to take me over for a second. No, it just stops right short of 41. We do have a 25 coming up, so I'm going to go ahead and move into a 4 and remove... Sorry, 4 I said. And we're going to go ahead and let the train coast at this point. In fact, I am going to need to hit a brake here, so I'm going to get ready to hit a brake. Our arrival time, as I edited, is 13:39 at the Elm Tree Halt. I am going to definitely need a brake application here, so I'm doing that now. Perfect. Almost. Now perfect. So we're going to leave this other line, this part of the actual real main line apparently, off to the left here. That will leave in its direction, and we're going to enter a 30, which we may not care much about. But nonetheless, we could move into gear 2 and actually worry about that. So I'm going to take the brakes off, move back to gear 2. That's gear 3, there's gear 2. We're going to go ahead and bring that into a power up status right now so we can get ourselves moving up again. Gear 2 is the maximum we should do because that will limit us to 30 miles per hour, pending any hills, of course. Well, 26.8 apparently. That works too. No need to increase that because we'll just shoot way past it. So knowing that's about as fast as we're going to go here, I'm going to go ahead and take the throttle off and move to gear 4 because we have to hit the brakes soon anyway. So once we do that, we're going to be coming to a stop. Elm Tree halt is straight ahead. We're going to start hitting the brakes a little bit here. So I've taken about 5 miles off. I'm going to take a bit more now. Okay, a little more. The lovely looking elm tree halt here. There we go. Doors are going to be open here at Elm Tree Halt as I put the gears back to 0. Doors are open. Let's take a look. You'll be passing an oncoming train at Inchcombe, so be timely to avoid delays. Leaving Elm Tree Halt, our next stop is, as noted, Inchcombe. This is where I saw the message about 15 minutes. I had to make it 16 minutes. So we're going to push the gear up to get ourselves up to as close as 45 as quickly as we can. Our arrival time is 13:42. We have a whole minute to make the stop. 40.8 will do nicely. I don't think I need to go too much faster. So I'm going to lower my throttle. I'm going to also put my gear to 4. We're going to start braking right about now. Here's the oncoming train, Centerfield stopper. I came in a little too quickly on that, unfortunately. Fortunately, we're not dealing with career points on this scenario, so it's just fine. I'm going to go ahead and ease off my brakes now so I can get into the platform for my stop. And then we will get on our way again. The train just left, so you got to see the train leave behind us. Now we need to get those brakes on so we can come to a full stop here, preferably before the end of the platform. There we go. Gear reset to 4 as we, or to 0 rather, as we let our passengers off at Inchcombe. Wipers were not meant to go on. So we're in gear number 1, leaving Inchcombe. Our next stop is Fenhill, and we're going to get to see what Fenhill looks like properly now, because the setting I mentioned from a couple scenarios ago that didn't seem to be set properly was the scenery density setting. So as long as everything's working out properly, we should see the scenery at Fenhill looking the way it should starting now, because you didn't get to see it last scenario. So it should look okay now. That's the quarry over there on the right, you may remember from the previous scenario we played. I need to put the gear up, I should do that. We do have a timetable to keep to, must keep to the timetable. So you can now see Fenhill is 9/10 of a mile away. That will be where we're stopping. So almost a full mile. That means we're going to need a little over a full minute to get there. That means for 13:46, I should be on time. Supposedly a 15 coming up on junction. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm going to put the train into gear 4 anyway, so I can start getting ready to slow down here. In fact, the train is already losing some speed naturally here. So looking over here, you can see the Fenhill shunter basically moving around platforms, or moving around yard sections, I guess. I came in a little slower than I should have, so I might be pushing my time on a future stop here. This could be a problem. So let's go ahead and stop now to make sure we get this done as quickly as we can. And as I come to a stop, I will reset the gears once again. There we go. Doors are open at Fenhill. Platform 2. The timetable only allows for 16 minutes up to Granfield and back to Fenhill before the next service arrives. Be timely with your stops to avoid delay. I had to modify that. I didn't read it properly, so I have a feeling I probably need to revise how that one service works to make sure there's no problems. Either way, we're going to go ahead and make our way to Granfield. We're not stopping at the other halt on the way up, so the Culford halt, what I believe is what it's called, we're not going to stop at it. But we will get to see it as we go by this time, because it should be fixed as well. I also decided to try one more setting that I set, was to set on a larger view distance. So there's a further view distance on the game as well. Since the tiles are going to upload anyway, it just means we're going to load them a little earlier on each side. So you can see a lot more in each direction from the train. And it gives for a better immersion, a better sense of immersion when you are actually in the train. I forgot to up my gear. That might cost me some time here. Arrival time of 13:54 is required. Apparently I can open this door, and I didn't know that. Well, you know. So there is a 30 coming up. The Culford Halt is coming up. It, again, is not a stop, but I think on the way back it is, which is why we see it lit up. So yeah, we're going to stop there on the way back. So we're going to get a request, I guess, from a passenger from Granfield to stop at the Culford Halt. So our 30 is coming up. I'm going to put my gear into 4. That's gear into 4. Thank you. Let's hit some heavy brakes for a moment. That'll do. As we pass the Culford Halt right there, you can see it this time. Yay! It's just wood. It's just wood. Okay. So 30 is now our speed limit. We're going 26. I'm okay with that. We're not being routed to the correct platform, which is very interesting. We're supposed to be routed to the correct platform. Where are we being routed? What? We're being routed into no man's land here. I don't like this. Okay, there we go. I don't know how we got routed into the siding there. That, if you ever get this scenario and you ever play it, keep in mind you might have to actually make that change. I am gaining speed. Why am I gaining speed? We have a bit of a downhill. I'm gaining speed on, guys. Well, we have 15 coming up. Let's just slow down anyway. If and when I publish this scenario, I'll see if I can actually get that siding changed and save it, but it may not keep, so we'll find out what happens. I think that's actually the reason, the problem I ran into with the Granfield shunter. I think it might have been having trouble finding its way out because of the way that siding was set. And because the siding had to be set for it to leave, we couldn't also have the siding set for us to make our way to the station. So, yeah, the Granfield shunter had to go on that one, unfortunately. There's no way it would have been able to make its journey while we were trying to also use the same manual siding. Because it's a manual siding, it made for an impossible set of steps for it to complete. So, yeah, we're gonna just deal with the Granfield shunter not being there. That's fine. So we're now cruising in the platform going 15 miles per hour, as we should be. We're going to be taking a dip to the left here as the other track joins us. Our track is automatic, so the switches should be set fresh. You can see the poke on the left there, so that we join the line. Once we fully join the platform, and we are definitely past the signal, so once we fully join the platform, we will come to a stop. Here we go. Stop now, please. Arrival at Granfield Platform 2. That's the end of the first half of our service. So before we can do anything else, we need to change cabs here. So let's try and do that safely and quickly as possible here. There we go. Gear 1. Mercer up. Brakes are going to start releasing. That's half the journey complete. How's your performance so far? I don't really care right now. We have to do something interesting here. We're going to go to the map, guys. We're going to hop over to here. We're going to have to change these switches right here. That's not the one. This switch. No. This switch. There we go. That's what I want to hit. Bit of a mess, isn't it? Bit of a mess. Now we get the green signal. Now we're able to go. And off we go. There it is. So yeah, the problem with the Granfield shunter was that it was trying to cross that track using a different set of switches, but it looks like the switches were not set correctly for this scenario, which would be a problem with the scenario creator. I don't know if it was Steve himself or someone at DTG that tried to make this scenario way back in 2010 or 2011, whenever this came out on Steam. But whoever made the scenario did not... Either the Granfield shunter did work back then on that version of the scenario, or changes made to the game broke the scenario. Since this DLC is no longer sold, it's only available on UK Train Sim, and this scenario technically is not available, I don't think anyone at DTG is going to care to fix that at all. And I don't expect them to. I don't expect the player to try to fix it because so few people would have access to this scenario. What I will try to do, though, is make a fix to this scenario myself and attempt to make that available on the Steam Workshop under the updated version of the route. That's what I would like to try to do here. So I'll see if I can do that. I'm going to go ahead and go into Gear 3 so I can get more speed and try not to go above the speed limit. So that's so far so good. There we go. I'm at 30. Good. That's what I want to see. 29.3. Good enough. The shunter would have gone off to the left here, so naturally it's not going to go off to the left because it's not here anymore. Having problems with the uphill right now, it looks like. No, don't speed. Thank you. Thank you very much. That'll do. I'm just going to hold at that. We're close enough to the stop now. 45 is our limit. We have a very specific stop location for this train. We have to get the car fully in the platform. We can't straddle the platform with both cars partially in because the doors will not open. One car has to be fully in the platform. So for this particular stop, it would make sense to actually look at the stop from the platform itself. I'm going to try to get the first car on the platform. I'm going to run a save right now, actually. So I'm going to try to get the first car into the platform and stop it right there at the end of the platform. That is my intention, because at that point the first car will be in. We have a visual eyesight of what's going on then. But you have to get the one car fully into the platform. You cannot get both cars in. So this platform in reality should have been extended a little bit. Too late now. Can't do anything about it now. So I'm going to keep going a little bit further here. My goal is to still stop on time. So this will have to do. Stop, 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 stop. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. That's a little too far, I think. Nope, it's open. Doors are open at the Culford Halt miraculously. Let's take a look. As you see, we got our check mark at the Culford halt. So we're going to go ahead and go to Thenhill once again. Once we get there, I think there's going to be another train that's supposed to follow behind us on a service in the other direction towards Granfield. So we're going to go ahead and we did not have a full acceleration, so we're going to fix that. We are still scheduled to be well on time for the next stop, so let's get our speed up as quick as we can because we are in a 45. This will help ensure that we get there on time. I am going to try to get us up to 45 if we can. Nope, we're going to hold there. I'm going to have to... I'm going to watch the ETA and I'll make a judgment call because we have a 25 coming up. I think we're going to be okay. I'll just go ahead and leave it. I think we'll be okay. A minute and a half to go. Slightly over a mile should be okay. And we're on a downhill, so we're gaining speed anyway. That's perfectly fine. Not a problem. I'm even going ahead and taking the throttle completely off. I'll go ahead and I'll put the gear now in 4 because we're going to use that to brake anyway. So I'm just letting the train gain speed on the downhill. Seems like a good way to handle it. .25 coming up, so starting to hit the brakes. I might not be hitting enough brakes here. A little more. No, don't go up. Don't go up. Down. There we go. We have to stop anyway here. So there's the train that was waiting for us, apparently a shunter. Oh, no, I want, let's get the gears reset, shall we? There we go. Coming a little bit too slowly. Yep, that shunter was waiting for us. So after we passed, it positioned itself on the platform we left, and it waited for us to come back so it could start its own service. So if it's still there when we come to a stop, I will try to check it out. For right now, I have to get this train stopped as quick as I can, so we need to get onto the platform as quick as we can and get ourselves stopped. So wherever I end up on the platform right now is where I end up. That'll do. Doors are open at Thenhill. Leaving Thenhill, our next stop is Inchcombe. We got our check mark. And moving up to gear 2, we have another whistle board. And lowering my throttle significantly so we don't speed past the 25. Now entering a 45, so moving it back up. There is the increase to 45 coming. We're now on a 1 in 77 gradient. That means that we're going to be going ahead and stopping our own increase. So I'm going to actually take the throttle off now. Move it up to gear 4 so we can hit the brakes when we need to. And we're also in gear 4 throttle territory anyway. That's just fine too. Whoa, I didn't expect that to happen. We actually did speed past 46. Expect the unexpected, apparently. So our ETA is not for another minute. That's fine. But we're supposedly going to arrive very, very late in the minute, which does not seem accurate to me. So I'm not putting much stock in that ETA, unless that's a 5 on the ETA, not a 6. That could be what it is. Because 6 is our actual stop time. Oh no, the ETA was a 5. Okay, we're good. We're good. Never mind. So now we're passing the siding at Inchcombe. We need to come to a big stop now, so I'm going to put some brakes on. Going to let them off now that I'm coming down to a slower speed for inching into the platform. I think we're going to stay left this time. Yes. Our ETA is now before our stop. That is fun. Before the current time, I should say. We're going to hit the brakes now. And as soon as we stop, we're going to open the doors. And reset the gears. Doors are open at Inchcombe Platform 1. Inchcombe Platform 1, sorry. Leaving Inchcombe, our next and final stop is Setterfield Platform 3. This is the one thing that could cause us a problem in this entire scenario, because we know from looking at the editor that there is a potential clash with another train on our path. We're going to hope that that is not the case, because I don't think we're going to be able to manually make our way around it. And taking a quick peek at the path ahead just to make sure everything is set properly for us. Are we going to platform 3? It's not going to tell us. We're on the line on the right of those 4. That will be taking us, I believe, into platform 3, which is a terminal platform. So yes, we seem to be heading in that direction. The line just lit up blue right now, a little further along. So that is where we're going. We are going to make our way down that junction and through over to platform 3. So we are set to go in that direction. We are going to bypass the Elm Tree halt this time. It is not a stop on this return journey. No request to stop there. Something I did learn recently is that halts are typically request stops, which is why they're called halts. They're not called platforms or stations. They're only a place to stop and get off. So I don't know why passengers show up there. Probably just to make it a working platform, but... Actually, I guess halts can also have people waiting at them, but they have to have a ticket to board. So if there are people seen waiting at a halt, then the driver would stop and they'd be permitted to board if they have a ticket. But you would not see station facilities, so that building there would really not have anything in it except for storing a ticket machine maybe, or for passengers to wait inside if they want. But they should be outside when the train comes, otherwise the train won't stop. Moving to gear 4 so I can drop to 30 miles per hour at this time. A little more brakes, please. Thank you very much. We should be within range now. We have a 25 coming up, so we will brake further in a moment. entering a 25 mile per hour speed restriction. I did slow down to it in time. We are going to be entering a 40 after that. I'm not sure if I really want to take advantage of that 40 though. That is going to be interesting. I will go ahead and put the gear back to 3 and we will start gaining speed here. In fact, I'll move it to 2 for a moment because that's really where we are right now. There's the speed increase. I didn't think it was coming for a moment. Now we have to be there in a minute, so increasing the speed might not be a bad idea. Whoa! I almost sped into that. Woo, that was close. We have 25 coming up anyway, so let's just go ahead and hold our speed here now that I think about it. Going to go to gear 4. So we're going to take the up relief line here. Both lines on the right apparently closed. Both showed yellow distance signals, so both lines have no access. We, however, do have access. We should have a green signal right here. Oh, I did not slow down time. That was a mistake. It's not going to impact my scenario completion, but it might impact by being able to stop properly in the platform. Get down to a 15. Actually, speeding might have been a good thing there because I actually probably would not be able to make that stop on time if I didn't speed. So, I don't feel bad about that. I probably should have just sped all the way in the platform, but I'll get as far in as I can before I have to make a stop. Hopefully I'm not late. Alright, brakes on. We are in the platform. I'm not going to go all the way to the buffer because I don't have time. Doors are open at Centerfield. Platform 3, terminus platform. Let's look at the train. Yeah, we're past the signal. That's all that counts. We don't have to worry about anything as long as we're past the signal. So, yeah, get over here, you lazy bones. You're walking down here today if you want to get in. And if you want to get off, you're walking down there too. Because exercise is good for you. I'm looking out for your overall health. Look at me. I'm the fat guy. I'm the guy who will drive up if I want to get off up there. But you guys can walk. Look out for your health. That's the end of the Class 111 scenario on this route. I forgot how tricky these trains are to drive. So the 101 is going to be fun when I get back to that again as well. Not on this route, though. In any case, well done on a timely run. And that means that the scenario should be completed successfully. Let's take a look at the... Actually, I'm not going to take a look at it because it should be completed successfully. We know we were on time there. In any case, that's it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, all the usual good stuff. You can join my Discord server. And I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for your part of the world. I don't know if we're going to do the 8F or the Shunter next time. I'm thinking of the 8F because we have another scene that we want to finish with on a final Black 5 scenario. So it might be the 8F next time. Whatever it is, I'll see you for that in 3, 2, 1.